Hey guys, Joe here, and today we are doing another one of my Fallout 4 settlement builds. This one is on the Abernathy farm. It's one of the very first settlements you actually get through Radiant quests from Preston Garvey. As you guys know, I've been going through the settlements of the Fallout 4 world and redoing them with a more modern and security-minded flair. If you like this kind of video, get subscribed down below. Let me know that you like it. Thumbs up, comment, all that good stuff, so that I know to continue doing it. I mean, I'm already doing it, but if you want to see more videos a little bit more frequently, I need to know from you. Also consider using my Amazon affiliate link for some of the stuff I use to make the video, such as the new graphics card I got, as well as the microphone and all that jazz, and maybe consider becoming a Patreon. As a Patreon member, you can help influence what videos come out when. As you can see, I'm wearing some farmhand clothes here because today I feel like being a farmhand. Please accept my apologies. I accidentally, well, not me, but a hard drive fried itself and it had all of my mods on it, so I had to re-download all my mods, reinstall them all, as well as kind of find a couple that I couldn't remember that were gone. So some things may look slightly different, but for 99% of it, it will look the same. Let's go ahead and pop up into the sky, and I will give you a brief overview of the settlement. Abernathy Farm is quite long, but it's also narrow. And I wanted to take full advantage of that. So as you can see, it is quite long and separated into two main sections. We will be taking a look at the full thing right now. Back in our character, let's start over here. Here's a little bit of a spoiler. The mission you have to do for the Abernathys is A, killing a bunch of raiders, which, hey, I'd do that anyways, and B, recovering something that belonged to their daughter, who unfortunately was killed by the same raiders. Well, once you do that and you bring it back, you gain access to the settlement. Hi, tree. And when you do that, they're kind of sad, and they have a small gravesite on the outside of the borders of the city, or of the settlement, and I didn't like that. So using DFEP, it gave me a mausoleum that I installed, and then I just took the cross and the flowers from her grave, because there was no actual mound or skeleton in the ground, and moved them into a mausoleum where they can come and pray and visit and pay respects to their daughter. And you can close the doors if you want it to be even more private. I did put a memorial plaque here. Nothing on it. I originally was going to use like some fluorescent lights or neon lights, and I decided that would be tacky, so it just is blank. You'll have to LARP it. For the settlement's water, I went with the tried and true standard water tower, which also comes with DFEP, and it provides 100 water for the settlement. More water than it'll ever need, and it stays out of the way, and it doesn't have generators or pumps. When you're near it, you can hear water sloshing around, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm not going to fault the creator of the mod for that. On the backside here was this original melon farm, and I left it pretty much alone. I didn't even touch the fences. I just added some lights so they can farm into the evening. Down here is a storage area for farming equipment and pallets and boxes and fertilizer and all that good stuff. I mostly did this to hide some of the clipping issues that were coming up with the floor. I could have raised the floor a little bit, but I didn't want to do that. Up top is the first, and because I had to reinstall a bunch of stuff, only current guard station, because I lost a couple of save games somehow. And as you can see, it points towards that warehouse. That warehouse is usually full of feral ghouls that will pop out and come and attack you from time to time. Not very often, but if they get close enough over the river, they will start coming over here, so they can take care of it themselves. Coming out here, there are some floors with grates, which helps compensate for the fact that it's clipping really bad, and a couple of trash cans. Waste management is important in a modern civilization. I did add a couple of big outside structures in these trees because I removed the giant pylon that was actually going through the main house for the Abernathys. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I got rid of it. On the side, I put some mute fruit plants because they provide a lot of food without taking up a lot of land, so that the people that are here can eat without having to plant a ton more potato plants, because that would have just interfered with everything. Coming around to the front here, oh look, it's the little bitty kitty. That's the settlement pet. Doesn't do anything. I put a table here because it actually clips with what I removed. The cat will sometimes jump up onto there and just float in the air, but now it has a table. Plus the settlers can come out here and sit and do whatever. The workshop is movable with place everything, but I just backed it out a little bit so it didn't clip with the wall. They have a grill and a cooking station outside, so they can do their outside cooking if they like. In the front is all the original Tato plants. I did eliminate one or two so that I could put down platforms for stairs, but otherwise it's the same number. And I like the thinner tree in the front because it allows you to see more of the structures. Let's go into the Abernathy home, and as you recall, the building used to be 3 stories tall with the giant power pylon coming out of it, but I couldn't justify making it 3 stories tall, so it's just 2 stories tall, and it now has a vertibird on top. All my settlements will have vertibirds so that they can travel from one side to the other. Again, I know it's role-playing, but you want to be consistent. Coming inside, you can see I've done quite a bit to modernize the interior as well. Originally, this area is where they slept, and I preserved that. I just gave them beds instead of their bed rolls, and one little poster. The interior layout is actually the same as it was in the dilapidated wooden building. It's just been modernized, and a couple things added, such as different dividers. Here's a nice little sitting area, double windows so they can come and look out onto the farm and see what's going on with their Brahmin. I used Modular Kitchen to give them a nice little cooking area, preserve that poster from the original build, and of course I decorated it with some silverware, cleaning supplies, food, all that good stuff. And these are functional. You can craft, do dishes, store stuff in the refrigerator, and these shelves are for food and other items. I just put the items that were already in the house on these shelves. They do have a bathroom that is fully functional. Shower stall, toilet, and sink. Everything is usable, and the mirror can be used for storage. Coming up here, I made this kind of a crafting area as well as storage. There is a clipping issue here. I think the original pylon actually came through here and blocked everything. So to compensate, I laid down some random boxes and crates that you can't, walk over, but you can walk around. So all this area is unusable unless you do this. I gave them a power armor workstation, an armor workbench, and a chemistry station. I figured they can come up here and tinker. So yeah, it's very subtle. It's not overly done, which is what I was going for because they're simple farming folk. Again, I left the Brahmin pen alone. I just gave it lighting. I did remove all the fencing from around the Tatos because I needed to be able to walk through. Now we're coming to the housing and market area for the other settlers. We're going to start up here where we have a bar. You have a working ice chest, so if you put drinks in here, they'll get cold and all that good stuff. A bar that's normally manned by Lucy, I don't know where she went, and a drink station that's also manned. She's getting high on her own supply. Plenty of seating because I believe I only have 14 people in the settlement right now. 16 people, so that's good. Yeah, 16 people in the settlement right now. And way too much power. As you can see, 999. That's way more than any settlement actually needs. Out here I have a jukebox, which actually is functional and it plays music. I have it turned off, obviously, for the walkthroughs. And some tables with some lights so they can come out here at night and enjoy the weather. Except for when there's radiation storms. Boo, radiation. First building up here on the top level is the clinic. And as you know, I like to put my settlers that are working in a certain place near that place, so this will also be residence for clinic workers. Coming in here, first thing you'll see is the clinic counter with a computer. It's non-functional. I do need to replace that with a functional one as soon as I remember to download the mod. But I did use Do-It-Yourself to fill up the counter itself. There's also the Phoraptor from Vault-Tec Workshop, as well as a surgery chair. The doctor for that is missing right now. One thing you'll notice is that they are wearing Cabot House coats, not the standard Vault-Tec coats, because they don't have the walkie-talkie or the emblem on them. I think that looks better. Over here you have a functioning bathroom on the first floor, so they can come in here, take a shower, or do whatever they need to. And then I put a wheelchair in here. It's a little dirty, but it is 200 years in the future. Upstairs is the living quarters for the 3 residents. As you can see, I put a couple of couches and a bunch of reading material. And their bedrooms. They are plain. I'm still working on decorating the minutia of each settlement, but for now I thought this would be good. Instead of doors, I gave them curtains because the curtains are actually at the right height and there's not a lot of room for doors. And I didn't feel like having doors everywhere every time. I think it looks good. I may download some different curtains, maybe consider doing that for other places. Inside each bedroom is the same rug, bed, and a dresser. I should give them foot lockers. I will do that after this video. Coming around to the side, you can see the other two bedrooms are identical. And I did give them a couple of desks along with computers so they can learn and relax. So that's the clinic. It's pretty well done, I think. One thing you'll notice, I have these U-shaped hallways on each level. I figured they could have interior walkways for when the weather is inclement, but there are also doors that lead out to the main open area, including from each house. Yes, it does eliminate my ability to decorate a little bit, but not enough to be detrimental to the overall effect I was going for. This next house is decorated with some books and decorations, a working television, and I put a different couch for each thing they could be doing. So watching television there, reading books here, table with 3 chairs just in case this person has some guests, and fully functioning kitchen. Bathroom has a standard shower stall, sink, and a toilet with a plain bedroom. Although I did put a poster up. I intend to put those in everybody's rooms eventually. Using Place Everything, I did shrink that lamp down to 40% so that it would be more, in terms of size, appropriate for this room. Coming over here, you will see that I have more of these DFEP fuse boxes. These are the huge radius ones. They allow for all these lights to work without having to have conduits everywhere, which I approve of. We're going to come into 2 sections here, which I do believe I still need to finish off. Yes, this is going to be an upstairs or second top level kitchen with some residents up here. And this is going to be a relaxation place with bathrooms and all that good stuff in here. So I still have to work on that. Once you have all your shops and stuff installed, it gets a little bit hard to think of new ways to decorate things. This will be a pretty cool living quarters. It's probably going to be shared by 3 or 4 people because it's got tons of room. I do need to put in a bathroom though. And coming back out here, that is the top level. A little bit of work still left to do, but overall I think it's coming along well. Down here is the shops, and I wanted them to be open air yet protected, so they're on the lower level. Of course, Fallout 4, and I'm not sure about 76, but Fallout 4, when it rains, it doesn't matter if you have roofs, floors, whatever, it's going to get wet down here. But that's a function of the game, not the actual build. But down here, I have all the main shops. You have your weapons dealer over here, and she has her own weapons workbench and modern firearms dispenser, which is another one of the mods. Using do-it-yourself, I filled everything, and again, these act as containers as well as display. Over here you have clothing, your armor dealer, and they all have their own cash register so they can keep track of their money, and a jack workstation and armor workstation. And over here you have your general store, again fully stocked and looks pretty good. So this is a barber's chair. I think I'm going to put up a couple of walls to hide that a little bit, but it was a last minute addition. Figured it should be there. Each merchant does have their own house, and as you come in here you can see some of them are slightly different decorated. Nice little do-it-yourself bookshelf there with some stuff on it. A nice 2077 or 2076 World Championship bat and a safe. That's for the general store clerk. The weapons dealer, you come inside here, and I figured they have some back stock here on the wall. Stuff to put out when the rest of it sells. A shower stall for the bathroom with the futuristic one. Thought that was kind of cool. And since this is a weapons dealer, I figured they'd want more functional furniture, so it's pretty sparse and plain, but it's not bad. And I figured this terminal would allow them to work with other settlements to arrange shipments and deals. And this one actually belongs to the clothing dealer. They have a few weapons and stuff on the side, but overall, again, very plain, very simple, very much in vein of a simple merchant. Don't know why I said it like that way. Down here on this floor, you do have the main cafeteria, until I build the other one anyways. And I do have a drink station that is manned, a fully modular kitchen that works and is decorated with lots of stuff, fruits and foods and things, so they can come in here and make whatever they want. And there's room for 20 settlers to sit and eat. I will eventually put 36 settlers in here. As you can read from the text, actually the next room we're going into is the lounge. Put a couple of nice couches and some rugs, bunch of slot machines. Connie, you should be working, as well as a pool table. I need to add the balls and stuff. I have them in OC Decorator. I just haven't figured out the best way to display them. So that is the lower level, and that brings us to this weird concrete structure, because this is actually the entrance to my player home. My player has a home in each settlement, although its main settlement is Sanctuary Hills, which I've shown in a previous video. Click on the card above to see that one. I like to clip through so I don't have to worry about locking or unlocking the door. Locking the door keeps other people out. So this is my player home. Figured they should have a cleaning setup there underneath the stairs, why not? But I have a desk with a computer to work on, a working weight bench, although you don't get a good visual because the way it's positioned, it actually clips with the wall, one of the Power Cycle 1000s, and an HVAC unit. I like having HVAC units in my player home. I figure she deserves some extra cooling and heating. The bathroom has a do-it-yourself with some supplies, a sink, mirror, just your plain stuff, and a shower stall. Didn't need to go extravagant on this one. You will also notice that this is underground, or it's under the second level. This is the last of the usable space from the way the hill descends in the settlement, and I wanted to use it, and I figured this would be great. Originally, I was going to put a bunch of residences down here, but I decided against that and just went with a player home. Figured she needed one and might as well have it down here. This is a kitchen. Again, stocked, food, all that good stuff. Probably should do something with the bacon and eggs that have been sitting on the stove forever. And just a little table for her to sit at, along with some dishes. On this side, I have a chemistry station. That wall actually clips through and goes way across, but I don't care because there's nothing on the other side of the wall. A weapons workbench, a do-it-yourself shelf that I can store stuff on that's decorated, OC dispenser, and a modern firearms prototype vending machine. I love these things. Coming in here, you have the player's bedroom. It's narrow, but it's still, I think, done very well. I have a safe in the ground here. Clips with the rug, I'll have to fix that. A nice television with a working radiation queen. Show you real quick that it works. I'll probably have to turn it off right away because it's a Disney cartoon. Oh, it's not on. Good. Couch with an ottoman. Figured she can just come in here and relax. Dresser, American flag that used to be the player's spouse's. A gun rack which holds some of my pistols. A couple of posters. Decorations, ceiling fan, and a bed from MadKea. I like these. They're big and they're wide and they look like they're comfortable to sleep on. So now that we're coming into night and it's starting to get darker here in the settlement, I'm on top of the highest building so that you can see the massively awesome view it has. You can see all the mountains in the distance. That's west, so that leads towards Nuka World. That leads towards Red Rocket Sanctuary and obviously Concord. And south towards downtown. You can see some of the skyscrapers in the distance because I have everything set to ultra. Ah, I fell. At night, the lighting is pretty subtle. I didn't want to overdo it. I thought just a little bit of light on each building was more than enough. And as you can see, the lighting allows for some nighttime work. They'll eventually stop when it's time to relax. You're not getting out of your Brahmin pit, you Brahmins. So yeah, that's it. Pretty simple, a little bit shorter than other ones, like I promised. It's not as complicated, but I think it came out well. It has more of that modern vibe while preserving the entire farming community that this farm was actually set up as. If you liked that video, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you would have done differently. Don't forget to check the descriptions for my Amazon links as well as a list of all the mods I used. I will be doing more of these. I'm working on Starlight Drive-In right now, and that's going to be an epic one because it's huge, as well as a couple of the other ones that I've currently received. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for the next one. And, as always, I'll talk to you later.